Hi, welcome. I'm Felix, the founder of LeagueLobster, and I'm here to give you a quick overview of our round robin scheduler. So let's dive right in. On the homepage, you want to click Schedule a League and then give it your number of teams. So that's pretty straightforward. In the next step, you will want to give it your number of games. That's total games for each team over the course of the entire season. So for this, default will always be one game per team per week or round. For 8 teams, it'll give you 7 games in 7 weeks. So that's one complete round robin where each team plays each other once. If I go back and give it 9 teams, for instance, you'll see it'll go to 8 games in 9 weeks. That's because of the odd number of teams. Each team will get one bye over the course of that season. And if we generate that, you'll immediately get to your schedule here. It'll give you a quick tour. I won't do that right now. So you already see the schedule here. We got 9 rounds and each team getting a bye. So that's nice. Schedule checker, you can see everyone's playing each other once. If you have any doubts, you can go in there. You can also manually make changes here. So say you don't want Team 8 and Team 4 to play each other, and just drag them onto another one. And then you'll see in the schedule checker now, Team 9 is playing Team 4 twice, and Team 8 is not playing against Team 4. And I can just undo that again like so. As you can see right now, there are no dates or times associated with these games, and they don't have a field or venue assigned. If you want to do that sort of thing, you can just enable scheduling on the right here, and that'll switch you to our actual scheduling view. So it'll add default dates and times in the beginning. Every game will be at a default field at 7 p.m. So obviously they can't all happen at the same time at the same field. What you'll want to do is work through these buttons here on the right, and that'll basically build out the schedule for you step by step automatically. So let's do that real quick. We'll start with venues. We'll just give it a second field real quick and save that. Nothing's happened as of yet. We'll go on to the next schedule, time slots. So this is really where you give it the times and weekdays that you have your fields. So let's say in this league we just play Tuesdays on the 2 fields from 8 to 10. And by the way, if your times are a little different from these, say we start at 15 past the hour, you see that's not an option in the drop down, but you can just type it in here and then tab into the next one, and then say we go until 10:15. And you notice also this is military time. That little note under the box that shows up already tells you can also type in 10:15. The format is not very sensitive, so you can just do something like this, 10:15p, and tab out, and you see it converts to 10:15 in military time, or European time, if you will. And let's save that. And now it actually asks you if you want to apply those changes to your games. We'll say yes, save and reallocate. And now our games have a date, Tuesdays, and a time and a field. So it's applied all that nicely throughout the schedule. And now the editing capabilities come in, because maybe you don't want teammate to play at 8:15. So let's drag them to the later game, and it switches those 2 games and so on. So you can go through and just change them. If you have rules like this or team requests, the Pro version actually has constraints that allow you to define all these rules, and it can take them into account when allocating games. in the Lite version, you're just limited to doing that sort of stuff manually. So let's move on to the next button for now, which will be our dates button here. You can see you can change the heading from round 1 to 3, etc. to weeks if you prefer that. And it just changes the heading. And then you can move the dates around. So again, like I mentioned in the beginning, you can skip a week for holidays. Say you want to take that first May week off. You can just click that down button here, and it'll insert this sort of off week. If I hit refresh games at the bottom there, then you can see it inserted that off week right here. Other things you may want to do here is shifting week 1. If you want to adjust your start date, you can just click down on week 1. So anytime you make any of these changes, it'll move the following weeks with it. So now you can see our first May week moved there as well. So let's move our off week as well, close that gap again, and shift this week instead. Okay, and then refresh games. If you want to shift your start date a little further out and you don't want to click 100 times on that down button in the dates modal, you can also go in here, just click that date on that first week and select a date further into the future. Let's just choose, for instance, that first, or let's say the last Tuesday in May, and save it. And it'll ask you if you want to shift only that first date or all the games. So let's do that for all games, and you can see, and now we're starting on May 30th. Then the next button is our teams button. That's just where you can rename your teams. You can also add more teams or remove teams. So say one team drops out of your league. Let's remove that team number 9. It'll ask you if you want to just delete that team and its games, or if you also want to regenerate the whole schedule. So with that, the regenerate in this case means it's going to get rid of all your games and generate new ones. So if a team drops halfway through the season, you probably just want to delete that team's games. If it happens before your season started, and you haven't made too many manual changes, you can just delete and regenerate the whole thing. So let's do that, and there you go. Now the problem now is we didn't change the other parameters. So if you go into the schedule checker, you can see each team has one team that they play twice. So you will go into settings and change our number of games per team and our number of weeks down to 7 and 7. So we have an even number now, so we don't need those bye weeks. So we can just do 7 and 7 and save it. And if you say yes, save and regenerate, that'll do that again. And now we have 7 weeks. And if you go to the schedule checker, everyone's playing each other once. Beautiful. This actually brings me back here. Settings, you can also rename your organization, your league, your season, all those things that show up at the top of the schedule here. Your the organization name actually will only show on the public schedule, which right now, because we haven't signed up, we haven't published the schedule yet. This is actually not visible to anyone, so you'd have to sign up and publish your schedule if you want to share that public schedule page out. And then lastly, referees. You can add here referee 1, and it'll let you assign referees right there. So that's really the main tools. The rest you can explore a little bit on your own. Some of these are more or less self-explanatory. How to here has links you back to this video and our help center. So if you go in here at the top, you can search for other articles, or you can go to all collections here and just browse through You can see we have a ton of articles on all our features. So explore that a little bit. We also have this chat button at the bottom here. If you ever have any questions, you can click that and talk to us. Just encourage you to search the Help Center first. Often that's going to give you the answer you're looking for without having to wait for us to get back to you. So if you're happy with your schedule and you want to use that and enter results, etc., and share it out with your players, you'll want to claim your schedule. So in this case, I already have an account, so I'm going to go and sign in. Okay, so now I've created an account, I've claimed my schedule, and you can see now I have this bar at the bottom here where it lets me publish that schedule. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to select our free plan, and then it tells me, okay, it's now public at this link, and that link, by the way, is just the public schedule link up here. So if I go to this public schedule, you can see a preview of what that's going to look like roughly to the outsider. Obviously it's going to look a little bit different because now I'm still signed in as an admin. If I just quickly bring in an incognito window here, you can see when I'm signed out, it looks a little different. It should still have ads on there. For some reason, it's decided not to show me any right now. That's fine. So yeah, you can see it looks a little bit different for others. They don't have that navigation bar there that you see here. But yeah, other than that, it's roughly like that. So now that it's public, I can also save scores, as you can see down here. Those score inputs won't show up until the day of the game has arrived. So if I want to preview that real quick, I'll just move this back here. And now you can see you have these score inputs. You can put in a result, put in one here too. And it'll save that. And then if I refresh the page, it has them right here. And then the last thing I'd like to call out is just this share button at the top here that's going to summarize or show you all the ways you can share your schedule with your community. Obviously just the public schedule link. We have a club page set up for you. You can preview that here. That's just going to give you all your schedules in one place. It's kind of like a mini homepage for your league. You can also totally customize that and link it to your own custom domain. So you can totally use that as your actual homepage or yeah, website. This does, however, require a pro level subscription. Obviously, we can't do everything for free, but yeah, I think that concludes pretty much our tour. Last thing maybe to mention, we have all these exports here. If you want to get it out of the system, you can do that. And I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching.